I am Michelle McPherson, and this is The Michelle McPherson Show, the only internet marketing podcast dedicated to answering your burning business questions. Find us and submit your own questions at FromIdeaToEmpire.com. And now for today's episode.
Michelle, I would love to know your preferred source of backlinks if you have one. Backlinks Genie, do you ever use blog farms anymore? If you could comment on that, that would be great. Or do you use an outsourcer? Thanks.
Good question, Lori. It's one that's on everybody's minds in this whole post-penguin, post-panda apocalypse that we are currently living in. So the deal is that those blog farms, those networks, all of that stuff is not something that we on my team are currently using anymore. Why? Because the Google disavow tool. So let me explain to you a little bit of the psychology behind this. I'm not saying that any one particular network is not effective right now. I haven't tried them all. I couldn't say that, right? But what I am saying is that when person A goes and uses a blog network or a link building service, like those kinds of link building services, I'm not talking about like hiring an SEO or an SEO firm to go and do some link building for you, but I'm talking about like, article submission services or blog networks or those kinds of services. Person A purchases that service, they spread their links out, they do all of the, they take advantage of the service to its maximum extent. 3 months later, they get an SEO penalty. And maybe it's because of their use of that service, and maybe it's because they chose crappy anchor text, and maybe it's because they did a whole bunch of other stuff with some other service that messed up their rankings, right? I don't know why, and it doesn't matter why, but what happens in that person's mind is that they go, oh crap, I lost all my rankings. It's because I used these services. Now I'm going to go find all of those links that I got from that SEO package or submission service, and I'm going to go disavow all those links using the Google disavow tool. That lets Google know that all of those sites, all of those sources for links are bad sources for links. It lets Google know that those are dicey places that people are purchasing links from. So you, on the other hand, have been using the service successfully, let's say for a year, and then this jerk over here goes and disavows all of the links from that particular site. Google says, oh, okay, we see that those sites are the kinds of sites that people are purchasing links from. So these other people who have links from those sites, we are going to penalize them as well because we now know that that is a link farm. Of course, Google probably won't do that with only one person using the disavow tool and identifying those links as spammy, but as time goes on and as more people are hit with SEO penalties and as more people get paranoid, as more people use that disavow tool in an attempt to get their rankings back, you will find that these services that once maybe were very effective are no longer effective, and it's because the people that are using them themselves are cannibalizing their own services. So you just can't use these kinds of services in today's day and age of Google disavow tool. So how does my team go about getting backlinks for my websites? Well, we do some blog commenting, we do some article submission, we do some guest posting, we do all of those things, we do some press release submission, we do all of the normal things, but we do it by hand these days. We are not using services like article submission services, like blog farms, that you'll find out there for sale because of this whole disavow tool problem. And I don't recommend that you do either for that exact reason. It might work for a little while, but eventually somebody else who's using the service is going to go ruin it for everybody. So use your link building, the money that you have to put towards link building to actually build individual links rather than applying to or being a part of a service like that. Because it'll come back and bite you in the end. So thanks for your question, Lori. Appreciate it. And those of you listening, head on over to FromIdeaToEmpire.com to submit your questions to the podcast. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.